What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video, man. Shout out notifications squad. I hope you're all doing well. So pretty much today's video is going to be covering a question which I get a whole lot, which is basically how to get your vocals to really shine on the beat, sound crystal clear without actually sounding harsh. So I'm going to show you some techniques which I make use of to really get that to happen. We're using the Drain Gang template today. And yeah, man, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing so you can learn more about recording and mixing within FL Studio, as well as checking out my vocal recording course, vocal mixing course, as well as vocal enhancer, which you can find in the description box. And yeah, man, you can really get in depth with the FL gang. So that being said, man, let's get straight into the video. Let's get it. Alright, now in the computer, it is time to get some techniques down. So I'm going to play the track that I have for you, and then we'll break down the plugins I've used. So let's get it.
Shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything slit my wrist. I've been falling off, can't sleep like this. Stuck up in a dream, just make a wish. I've been falling off, can't think too much. Got me falling down, shouldn't live like this. Say she wanna talk, but I don't wanna. Say she wanna talk, but I don't wanna. Snow falling down. So cold right now, 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 so cold right now.
Alrighty, so there you go. That's pretty much what we have going. If you did watch the previous one, a few plugins that I demoed expired, so I don't have the really cool crazy delay, but nonetheless the treble sound is nice. I've kind of updated the template a little bit to really shine more on the vocals. So with that being said, man, the first thing that I would really like to tell you about mixing these types of crystal clear sounding vocals is really to focus on firstly reducing everything you don't like in the bass region. I know it's pretty easy to immediately go for the EQ and just boost the treble, and then you still kind of not finding that sound you want, and then you start reducing, and then you just get confused really quickly. So that's the first thing that I really concentrate on when I'm mixing my vocals. I'll generally not record with any plugins on, just so I can really hear what the vocal sounds like, and then I'll know if I'm happy with the sound of the recording while I'm recording it. Otherwise I should re-record, but then I'll know, okay, if there's a little bit too much bass, I can reduce that later, so I'm kind of looking at what I'll have to do later. That's the first thing. So generally, once I'm done recording, I'll start focusing on the bass of the track. So as you can see, I've got this knee EQ right here, and as you can see, I do a lot of reduction right here because the vocals were quite bassy. So as you can see, at around 200 hertz, I'm doing an 8 dB shelving cut, so that kind of looks like that, so at like 200 I'm doing something like that, and that's really just helping the vocal open up in sound, and that way we're already getting more treble without actually boosting the treble of the vocal. See what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much what I focus on. So as you can see, this EQ has bass at the bottom and treble at the top, and that's generally how I will work from bottom to top. So I firstly start off by just really reducing the bass and the EQ, and let me just bypass the EQ so you can actually hear what it sounds like.
Shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything slit my wrist. I've been falling off, can't sleep like this. Stuck up in a dream, just make a wish. I've been falling off, can't think too much. Got me falling down.
So you can really hear what's happening right there. We're really just getting rid of everything we don't want, and we just left with that really nice airy treble sound. So pretty much that's the most important tip that I want you to walk away with. Second to that, man, is really working on the kind of 200 zone. Let's just put up this EQ right here so you can see what's going on. So around this region, man, we're working on 200 hertz again, and I'm reducing 1.9 dB. So we're doing something like this at 200. Let's just slot in 200 right there, and right around there, we're just kind of doing a little bit of a dip. 1.9 dB, so something really small, just to help again open up the vocal sound. So that's pretty much what we do. We just get rid of that, and yeah, that's pretty much what we do, man. So from there on out, I really then kind of focus on finding a little area within the frequency spectrum where I'm going to boost. That's generally something I like to do to just help kind of pop out the vocal in terms of the wording of everything, just to help it sound a bit more clearer. So that's generally where I'll find, I would say, around between 1000 hertz all the way up to around I would go to like 2500 around. I wouldn't really go, maybe 2.9. I wouldn't really go around more than like 3K, 4K, because that's really where things get quite harsh, which we'll talk about just now. So really all you want to do is find a kind of spot in your vocal sound that you really want to pop out and kind of boost, so you can kind of emphasize the wording of your track. So that's really going to help you also get that crystal clear sound. And then lastly, what I actually do is boost the treble. So at 8000 hertz, 8000 hertz is a really nice spot to boost treble on. I just do a nice little treble boost at 8000 hertz, and that way I'm not really overdoing it. As you can see, I'm only doing 3 dB because we've already cut so much of the bass out. We've kind of got a more natural sounding vocal. So one more time, I'll just play the track for you with and without the EQ.
Shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything slit my wrist. I've been falling off, can't sleep like this. Stuck up in a dream, just make a wish. I've been falling off, can't think too much. Got me falling down, shouldn't live like this.
There you go, that's pretty much what we're doing. And that's pretty much the most important thing you need to kind of think about. So the next thing, man, is really de-essing your vocals, because as you can see, we have now emphasized the treble. It is time for us to really just tame the treble to make sure things don't get too crazy. So it's kind of an either or when it comes to EQing before de-essing or EQing after de-essing, and I really like to, it really depends on the track really, but generally I find myself de-essing after EQ. So as you can see, we've kind of set the de-ess at 14,000 hertz, and it just kind of slowly, but just really minimally tucks away certain frequencies. So
shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything slit my wrist. I've been falling off, can't sleep like this. Stuck up in.
As you can see, really just once in a while, it'll just come through and just kind of cut some stuff away. De-essing, really important. And next, as you can see, we had this EQ right here. So what I've added to this template was this cut right here. I already was finding, because I got new speakers since the last time we made this template, I just found these frequencies were already sticking out. So you really, again, just want to go ahead and find any frequencies that you may not like within your vocal, and it's generally going to be around, I would say, like 100 all the way up to like 500 hertz. Is where you're going to be finding that real boxiness in your vocal sound. So you really want to make sure that's not sticking out, otherwise your vocal will kind of sound unleveled. So yeah, and after that, man, what I do is I really focus on just reducing anything around, again, 3,000 all the way up to 6,000, 7,000. Generally, that's where you're going to get that real kind of telephonic harshness coming out of your vocal, especially if you're using a very bright sounding microphone. This area is really where you want to focus on just kind of tucking stuff down. So the way I've done that is I found the most nasty frequency. So let me boost this for you so you can actually hear what's going on.
Shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything slit my wrist. I've been falling off, can't sleep like this.
So really what happens when you find that really ringy frequency in your vocal sound, cutting, sometimes you might have to do 2 or 3 cuts, but really cutting away those frequencies for some reason really opens up the vocal sound, because now your ears can really focus on the words of the track and not so much these kind of resonant peaks going on secretly in the treble of your track. So that really helps increase intelligibility of your vocals. So that's what I quite like to do, as well as just here I'm using a dynamic EQ just to really kind of smoothen out this whole range right here. So
my wrist, I've been falling off, can't sleep like this, stuck up in.
So it's not so much really that I'm doing this, to de-ess the vocals, but it's more so it kind of brings this movement into the track. I really like the way the isotope kind of has its own preset kind of attack and release. So that's what I quite like doing. That just brings a bit of kind of magical pumpingness to the vocals. So that's pretty much what we do right there. And then again, this is where we really emphasize our vocal sound. So now that we've kind of tamed the vocal, right, and toned it, this is where I'd really start to get into depth in the vocal mix. And as you can see, I'm just using a stock EQ to do that. So if I was to emphasize this, really we've cut away again frequencies that I didn't like. As you can see, we've already worked on the low end right there, or the low mid end, and then I've kind of boosted 640, 600, 640 is really where you're going to get that nice male warmth in your vocal. You don't want to forget about at least bring a bit of warmth into the vocal sound. So that's really what we do there. Again, I did not like whatever this frequency is. I can't really see. It's like 3,000, 3,700, 3,800. Didn't like that. Dipped that away a little bit, and then we do kind of just some treble boost right there. and we really boost the treble since we've now de-essed the vocal. It means that we can really get away with making that vocal shine. So yeah, that's pretty much what we do. If I was to disable all of these EQs, you can kind of see what's going on.
Shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything's lit. My wrist, I've been falling off.
So as you can see, the vocal completely loses track of what it sounded like beforehand. So, you know, if I turn that all back on.
Yeah, shooting at your heart, I can't miss. Ice world, everything's lit. My wrist, I've been falling off.
And there you go. That's pretty much how I like to create that kind of HD, you know, kind of trebly vocal sound that you might find on certain songs. So hopefully you learned something, man. Definitely smash that like button as well as you subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section. You can use any EQ over here. I just really like to use an analog EQ as my first thing. It always has a few extra little perks on it that you can make use of, you know, but you could use a stock EQ. The theory always stays the same. So hopefully you had a good time. I'll check you out next time. Peace out.